Good morning, Marijo.
Hi, Rachel. Thank you so much for speaking to Family First.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So when I was a little kid, I knew like one kid that had an allergy to like milk or chocolate or something. And so I know you've been you've been a dietitian for over 15 years. So you've seen this thing evolve. What is going on with all of these allergies in children these days for food?
Well, Marijo, I agree with you because when I was growing up, I didn't see very many kids with food allergies either. But we're not sure clinically why we're seeing a higher prevalence of this. But I just think that people are just more aware of allergies in general, and we're more aware of the effects of foods and how it affects us. So I just think the awareness has grown over the years.
That makes sense. I remember when little kids would have that test of all the different allergies that they would have, but you didn't hear that happening very often, and so now I understand that that could be possible. So now, which foods are kids typically? I mean, I know that there's usually a peanut-free zone in in classrooms or in lunchrooms. What other foods are you seeing kids reacting to?
Well, the most common allergens in children are peanuts, tree nuts, milk, and of course, gluten. That's what we typically see in kids these days.
hmm And what sort of foods is there a food that triggers that besides? I mean, obviously, a nut. What other sort of foods would trigger those kinds of allergic reactions in a kid?
Well, in terms of gluten, what you see, you find gluten in all your wheat products, your rye and your wheat and rye and barley. That's where you typically find gluten. So it's important for parents to be prepared with good gluten-free alternatives that you can offer to kids in the classroom or after school or on the sports field that can really include everyone and make it safe for all kids to eat. And today, what I wanted to highlight are some really great back to school fun snacks that are safe for all kids to eat. And all these recipes that I'm discussing can be found on udiesglutenfree.com/back to school. Couple of them that I'd like to highlight because they taste so good and are so easy to prepare are cookies and cream whoopie pies. Also, we have a really great chocolate dip granola bar, and we also have a really fun snack mix. So all of these are easy to prepare, and parents can feel good about the fact that they're bringing safe things into the classroom that all kids can partake in.
Wow, those sound delicious. Um, Can I ask you now, if something contains corn or rice or something like that, then it does not have gluten,
Correct. Those are gluten-free grains, and those
just
are good
naturally?
alternatives for kids to focus on. It's rice, it's potatoes, it's corn. You can even get into other grains such as quinoa and amaranth and teff. So there's a plethora of things out there now. When I was in practice and just starting out years ago, there was really nothing available. So it's really great that people who have to follow a gluten-free lifestyle have great options now.
Absolutely. I was amazed yesterday when I was grocery shopping at how many things have quinoa in them now and just all kinds of different wonderful, a variety of different things. So now you just mentioned some awesome snacks. Do you have some ideas for the lunches that we can pack for children that help alleviate allergies?
Absolutely. And again, when you're thinking about school lunches, you want to think about balanced lunches. And what I always tell parents to do is think about 3 food groups to include in a lunch. And when you're dealing with lunches for children with allergies, I have a great example here today using a gluten-free bread. This is Udi's multigrain gluten-free bread, and you want to always put in a protein, whether it's a nut butter or whether it's a lean sandwich meat, and then you want to round out the lunch with, of course, naturally gluten-free foods like fruits and vegetables. So here I have a ham and cheese sandwich with some carrot sticks and some hummus. You can also serve some fruit with it to round it out. So again, you just want to make sure you hit at least 3 food groups and you're offering a good gluten-free alternative for your bread.
Fantastic. Just one last question is, has this allergy, has it kind of changed anything about sort of the traditional food pyramid that we learned about as kids or anything like that from as your experience as a dietitian? Do you see, is the mix different now?
Well, it's not necessarily different. It's just now that we have alternatives. We have good gluten-free alternatives. So your base of your diet can still be grain-based, but you just need to make sure that it's gluten-free. And now with the plethora of products on the shelf, you don't have to give up those grains.
Fantastic. Rachel, thank you so much for your time. I know that you said udiesglutenfree.com/back or backslash back to school. Is there any way to find us or find for us to find you anywhere?
Sure, you can always Google me at rachelrd.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.